Check, 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 check. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, that helps. I will send you a message a little bit later on. Just do me a favor and do not change your username from now until later on. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Check, 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 check. How's the streaming quality been lately? Have we had any issues, any latency issues, any lag issues? Has the quality been good? How are we doing? Maria, welcome in. Gustavo, J Nunn, Jeremy, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Mic check, mic check. Loud and clear. It's been good. Streaming quality's been good. Okay. Good. That's what I like to hear. Had some changes that I had to make to my office setup that has seemingly drastically fixed the latency issues that we were having. On my end, everything was fine, but for some reason, when it came to streaming and live streaming and doing things like this, and even streaming on Discord server, I would lag. My voice would lag and glitch, but so that seems to be fixed. So that's good. And then also, I know that my setup isn't very nice. My background here is pretty barren. There's nothing there. That's going to change here soon. I've got some. Actually, I got some custom work going to be going in behind me, and then I'm going to redo my lighting behind my setup here so that you're able to see my face a little better. It's going to change the lighting of the whole entire space. So we're gonna, we're slowly getting things set up. I've just got a lot of other stuff right now that's been taking priority. Okay, I have not built the watch list today. I haven't looked at anything really other than UNH and INTC. So we are going to, this is going to be a really raw session. We're just going to build this watch list out together. By the way, we made a deal yesterday for the Discord server members and myself. We made a deal. I said if I get 5 reviews on WAP, we would trade live today, and we got 7. So thank you to everybody that left a review. This means so much to me. Reviews mean a ton for reputation, and I'm new to WAP, so having a good reputation there to start is, it means a lot. We're almost at 100 reviews. And we met the goal here of 5 reviews, actually exceeded that goal, so we will absolutely trade live today. Fridays usually I take off, but like I said, I'm willing to make that deal every week. We get 5 reviews a week. I'm down to trade live every day, every Friday at least. That's not an issue for me at all. Those reviews mean that much to me. They really do. So thank you all for that. Okay, let's review the focus list. We will start with number 1, which is SPY. So remind ourselves of the setup here. SPY is trading at the all-time highs. It has been running. It's been giving us higher highs. We got a gap up this morning. It's not much, but slightly, with a pre-market high around 647. So it likely makes the most sense today to go long above 647. Like I said, we are going to be building this watch list out together. Short level, where could we go short on SPY? Well, the support is very clear here at 642. Under the PDC, there is support at 644. Then you got support at 643, and then you got the ultimate support down here at 642 or 642.5. So if we were to go short, there's just too many support points below for me to be aggressive on a short level today. So it's either going to be short at 643 if you're feeling aggressive on this, or short at 642, maybe short at 642.5. Either one of those lines work. I don't mind the short under 643, but a couple of times it looks like it broke and flexed below. So let's go with a true low from yesterday's low of day area. It's not perfect. There's a little dip right there. But 642.5 seems like a good split difference between the support and the further support there. 642.5. 642.5 and 647. Cool. Okay, next one on the watch list, focus list, we had Amazon. Amazon gave us a really solid run yesterday. And by the way, you know, I said I would not be surprised to see Amazon break the downtrend trend line and give us a midday or end of day run. I know it tried here and ultimately failed, but you could have probably scalped something off of that. But this run here was massive. And you know, you're like, well, Gates, how would I have known to catch that move, right? How would I have known that this wasn't a fake out here? You really wouldn't have. But what you would have known is that the previous high of day is here, right? Previous high of day is there. Old what? Resistance acts as what? New support. So one way you could have traded this, if you were here for it, is, well, okay, maybe long on the break of the downtrend trend line, sure. But the other way, if you needed more confirmation, is wait for that break of that resistance there. Boom, you get the move up. Don't chase the move. Wait for the dip. Old resistance becomes new support. Buy the dip, and now you're in it for this run here. I called this out for the Discord server before I left. I posted this on Instagram yesterday as I was reviewing this trade on my story. So, you know, hopefully you caught it. If you didn't, it's setting up really nicely for a continuation today. It's going to be a long idea above $233. Long above 233. I'm not even sure I would set a short level on this, but what would make sense to me is 230 because that's your resistance area that then flipped to support area. It's not perfect, but you get the idea, right? So we're always going to think of this as a zone. That would be your support zone here. So 230 works as a short level on Amazon if you are bearish on this, which I don't think you should be, but we'll put a level on here anyways. Short below 230. That would also give you a green to red move on the break of that PDC. So for the notes here, it's simple. We're just going to say it's going to be a continuation watch from yesterday's run and move higher. I mean, that's basically it. It's, you know, we've already looked at this setup, analyzed this setup. The gap has filled. So now you actually have another gap there. So it's no longer a gap fill trade idea on the daily, right? This was your gap previously. Yesterday's price action totally filled that gap. So there's no gap left to be filled topside. So we can't say that this is a gap fill trade idea anymore. Once the gap is filled one time, that's it. What we do have below is a gap at 227, but it's not trading anywhere near 227. So we can't say that this is a gap fill trade idea. You heard? All right, next on the watch list, Reddit. Reddit doesn't have the, excuse me, it doesn't have the best contracts, but the past 4 days has been running. Reddit ran here, it ran here, it ran here, it ran here, it ran here. Correction, past 5 days, Reddit has been running. The resistance is very clear at 245. So because Reddit doesn't have the best contract selection, and what I mean by that is, you know, it has a wider spread, though it might be within limits of what we like, and it has a lower open interest on a lot of the strike prices. It's not something immediately that I'm like, let's trade Reddit. Absolutely. There are other setups that are just as quality as Reddit. It's not a takeaway from the setup at all. Reddit's still a really quality setup here, but if there's something else moving that offers a better contract selection that's a little more popular, I would trade something else over Reddit. But it's still a good setup, so we're going to keep it on the list here. Give me a second. Hello? Hey, I'm at work right now. Yeah, can I call you back in a little bit? Okay, I'm live right now. Yeah, click on my link on Instagram. You can watch me. Oh, okay. All right, I'll call you back later. All right. All right, love you. Bye. This is my brother. Okay. Where are we at? So Reddit, yes, makes the watch list. Then we have INTC and Shop. INTC I've already built the level out for. It's just going to be a long idea above your pre-market resistance high, which is around $25. If you need a true high, you can look for a break of 25.25, but I think we'll be fine with just looking for a break of 25. It has pulled back a little bit in the pre-market, so make sure that when we're trading this, what we're kind of looking for here would be a break of the downtrend trend line topside, and then a higher low pullback hold that then goes. You don't want to see a lower low following a higher high. That doesn't work for us there. Okay, so INTC over 25 is what we're going to be looking for. This is an up gapper it is a gap up, but the end of day yesterday had a run. There were talks about, I'll let you look the news up. I made a reel on this, but talks about a potential government stake investment into INTC. It's not, as far as I know, it's not concrete news. It's not something that is in that is solid. I believe that the article that I read specifically said that the plans remain fluid. So take that as you will. We've talked previously about news that warrants market buying, right at the open, that's really concrete and solid, versus news that is kind of like buy the rumor, sell the news type of event. This is certainly a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event. Maybe the news won't sell, but it's certainly buy the rumor. It's not concrete as far as I know. So INTC is gapping up off of the assumption that the government will take a stake, though they have not yet, from my understanding. Shop, yes. Shopify has a gap to be filled just below the current trade price. Yesterday had a sell-off. It almost looks like I don't even know, like a bull flag maybe that's like failing here. It's an up gapper from earnings. It's quite the opposite from what we just saw happen with Meta, right? If we put Shopify, let's just do this. If we put Meta next to Shopify, so let's just screenshot that. Excuse me. And then let's zoom in here. So this is Shopify on the left, and this is going to be Meta on the right. Okay, they're very similar. You have the up gap from earnings. Here you have the up gap from earnings. You've got consolidation following the up gap, which is all of this. You've got consolidation following the up gap, which is all of this. Meta, the difference here is that Meta is breaking out topside rather than down to fill the gap, and Shop is breaking down rather than topside to fill that gap below. So they're both pretty quality setups. But Shopify, I think, offers us a little variation from everything else that we're looking at on the watch list today, which is mostly topside continuations as these stocks continue to run. The Shopify is going to be totally different. We're not looking to take this long at all. We are only going to be looking for lower lows. It's going to be a short idea under 143. So shop below 143. I like to add stuff like this onto the watch list because it does give us variation. What happens if market opens and everything sells? Well, we won't have anything to trade if all that we're looking for are continuations, right? So we do want to have some variation on this watch list. Okay, next one on the list is going to be, excuse me, AMD. AMD, let's see. So I put these in the potential category. If you look at my focus list here, these are the potentials. I don't ever know if these are going to make the watch list or not until the morning, and I have to see where they're opening up at. So AMD, I potentially liked it as a continuation idea, but it's gotten this, AMD has this pattern about it right now where it's been making big moves, but it's been selling. So the moves have not been sustaining. Look, Here's your rally and then a sell. And then you got a rally and then a sell. And then you got a rally and then you've got a sell. So AMD, while it might have some potential here to rally and go, and could we trade that top side? Sure. The habit, the trend, the pattern has been it rallies and sells. So I'm not thinking that this has a lot of opportunity topside for us. But because it has been selling, somebody just posted it here, AMD does have a gap just below where it's currently trading at. Maybe with the topping wick here, maybe there's a chance for AMD to sell down into this gap below. And we can take this short right under, just under yesterday's low of day for that gap fill trade idea. So it's going to be roughly, let's say 179.5 or 179. Either one of those levels works. All right, so AMD, we're going to add it here. No long level on this, just top side. I don't see it. I don't see it. Short below 179. What the heck? 179.5. And we're going to say looking for the gap below to be filled or at least partially filled today. Given the recent trend of rally sell-off. And you know, if you're reading these comments and you're like, and you don't go look at the chart, you say looking for the gap below to be filled or at least partially filled today given the recent trend of rally sell-off. If you're just reading that and you've not looked at the chart, I encourage you, this is to all the Discord members, I encourage you to go look at the charts, you know, and try to make sense of this stuff. You would say, okay, given the recent trend of rally sell-off, okay, well, what does that mean? Okay, well, we know recent trend and we know what a rally sell-off is. So what is the recent trend of a rally sell-off? Just go look at the chart, right? Okay, oh, here it is. Rally sell-off, rally sell-off, rally sell-off. Okay, now that makes sense, right? So these top side moves just aren't sustaining, and it makes me feel like there's more maybe selling pressure up here than continued buying pressure. Okay, Apple, next one on the list. This one we said had potential. It was a continuation idea. Man, it got faked on that early entry yesterday, but hopefully you watched my YouTube video. I still like Apple above 235, though it's pretty far off from 235 right now, but almost 1% away. So the question is, do we risk it, right? Do we go long early at 234? I see the potential here, you know, going long that early because maybe this rallies to 235 and through it and we get a big breakout run and, you know, we look like a genius because we took the entry way early down here. That's one scenario. But what happens if this does rally and hits 235 and rejects and comes back down? You know, then we just look kind of foolish because we're trading inside of chop. And I don't really want to be trading inside of chop. Somebody was asking me about the Nvidia setup yesterday, and I was like, no, absolutely not. You know, it's the same thing. You'd be trading inside of chop. So there's nothing here for me. We can put this as a placeholder for right now. Over 235, we will go back and edit this, but we just want to put it there as a reminder that, hey, maybe this is a setup for us if we can't find anything better. But this is a lower quality setup to me right now. If this was opening at or just under 235, it would look way better, but it's not. So let's move on. Nvidia. Next one on the watch list. This offers us big breakout potential if and when it can get to 184. So look at all, this range is so tight and clean. We love this. This is a really solid setup. It's timing the breakout of this setup that's going to be very crucial. Given where it's trading at right now, it is not far off from 184. Could this break 184 today and go? Yes, absolutely. So I do want to keep this, maybe even, I almost want to go 183, but it's the same deal as Apple, right? Like I don't want to be trading inside of this range. Look at how nasty this price action is. It's ugly, right? There's why trade when you've got resistance points overhead when we can just wait and trade when we've got nothing, literally nothing overhead. Nothing is going to stop this in the history of the price action of this stock. Nothing is there to stop this from running once it gets above 184. So is the better setup trading it inside of this chop, or is the better setup trading it outside? Outside, right? I mean, we can all see that. So it's 184 is the level. I am probably going to put this on the list also as a placeholder because it's like Apple. It's not quite there where it screams breakout, 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 but it has potential to get there. It certainly does. Nvidia can make big moves. So we'll say Nvidia over 184 and we'll rock with that. Obviously, I'm not going to put all of those on the list, but we'll clean it up. Let's go Meta, next one on the list. Same deal, right? Same exact situation where it's just not there yet. I'm not comfortable trading it until it gets to 794, 795, 796. Then we start looking at all-time highs on this and the run to 800 plus. So Meta, I'm not going to put this on the list. I'm not even going to put this as a placeholder because now we've looked at two setups that look pretty much exactly the same. And so if we continue to include setups that look exactly the same, that are moving similarly, meaning they're just consolidating and range trading, chances are they will continue to move the same way. And so I'm not wasting space putting stocks that look the exact same on the same watch list. There's no point. There's no point because they will likely continue to move the same way. So Meta doesn't make the list. Up next, we've got Google. Okay, now this looks way better. Way, 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 way better. So Google, unlike those other setups, while it has been choppy and consolidating and trading in this mess here, it is not trading in the middle of this mess. So if we look back at the Apples, the Nvidias, if we look back at the Meta, they are in the center of the box, not Google, right? Google's at the top of the box. Google is also not far off from your all-time highs. If we go back to, excuse me, if we go back to the daily time frame and just back this up 20 years, we can see clearly this is 207.05. Actually, let's just go max available so that you can truly see. Max available here. Google, in the history of the price action of this stock, has never, ever, ever traded above 207.05. So that means that's your all-time high. So from here, what your next resistance point is going to be, that's going to be your profit margin. That's going to be your price target is going to be 207. So we're looking for Google to make the run initially above 205 to break the ranging resistance over the past 3 trading days to run to that all-time high and then hopefully through it. We'll have to see if it can get the power to get there. So it is an up gapper this morning. We're looking for the break of 205. This certainly makes the watch list as a main chart item. So we're going to say long above 205. We don't care. Remember, we do not care to trade in the chop, right? So we're not setting a short level on this. Why would we? Doesn't make any sense for us. So I'm going to say Google only looking for the break of 205. Okay, this is probably going to be our top pick of the day, though I kind of like Amazon too. So Google long above 205, and we can't say that this is a continuation watch because it's not. It's if we look for a continuation here, we're just looking for it to continue to consolidate. So it's not a continuation watch because it has not been running. Google is not a continuation watch, but rather we're going to say looking for a break of the ranging resistance over the past 3 trading days and looking for a move to the all-time highs. That's it. That's it. Okay, Microsoft. Next one on our focus list. So Microsoft was, it had this really aggressive sell-off, and then yesterday got really choppy. Looking at a slight up gap this morning. I liked Microsoft as a short idea for the continuation sell-off. Yesterday, we did not get that. The support was established. The support has been established at 519 and 520. It's not close to that price point right now, so to look for a continuation sell-off from where it's at doesn't make sense because likely what happens here is this sells off, finds support, and bounces again. It could, it could continue to sell right through, and maybe that's something that would be a missed opportunity on my end, but it's not at the breakout point a breakdown point right now. So there's nothing there for me. Somebody's asking about PLTR. I'll review this one chart, but typically if you want to do like trade reviews or watch list building or trigger level setting like that and get specific feedback, come join the Higher Spartan class with me. You know, that is exactly what that class is designed for. PLTR would be an all-time high rejection trade idea. Yeah, I see how this could be a pretty decent short because you do have 4 days of consolidation up here where it's breaking down from the rejection of the all-time high. So you'd probably be looking for a break of this support at 177.5, which was actually a prior point of resistance if we just pull that line back. And then your price target's going to be somewhere around 170, given that that's the top side of the gap just below. So it seems like your profit margin here would be pretty good. You would just kind of be banking on this sell-off to continue down. So a short under 179 could work if you want to go a true short under the pre-market low. Do keep in mind you've got potential support around 177. And then beyond 177, I think you've got pretty free fall room for this to drop all the way to 170. Yeah. Okay, so let's clean up the charts that we have here. We did not talk about UNH, but I do want to add this one to the list as well. UNH yesterday, after hours session, it was made public that Warren Buffett's been buying UNH. In fact, he's been buying so much of it that he put about $5 billion into this name, causing the stock to gap up from 270 all the way up to now 300 is your high here. So does this continue to run today is going to be the big question. Possibly. Usually, something like that is massive news. UNH has been a stock. If you look at this on the daily, this is a stock that has been beaten up so bad. I mean, percentage-wise, from the start of this drop up here down to the low, you're looking at a 60% drop in a period of what, 1, 2, 3, 4 months. That is so freaking rare to happen for a mega cap stock, for a large cap stock like this, for a company that is so massive on a scale of production. It's just, I don't know how you can look at this and not see a buying opportunity there. So, I don't know. Some people want to take this short and they say the fundamentals of this company sucks. I hear you, they're being investigated for fraud and all of these other things. You had that weird thing happen with the CEO not too long ago. We're not going to get into details here, but you can go look it up. Yeah, I get it. I hear the other side of the argument for this, but I also see this as a generational buy. I mean, and I'm not kidding when I say generational. If we go back 10 years and look at the history of the price of this stock, I mean, you're looking at the last time that's traded at these levels was 5-6 years ago, and it's been steadily increasing and rising and has supported for. So I just see dollar signs as profit topside. I mean, even if this only gets to 380 and never gets back to 400, you're still looking at a 20% return on the shares of this company. So, do your own due diligence, but this gap up this morning and the backing by Warren Buffett probably adds a little bit of validity to the case I'm trying to make here, which is, this I think is a generational buy when it comes to an investment opportunity. And that's just strictly an opinion. It's not financial advice. So UNH, where do we go long on this? Well, the pre-market support should be resistance at 304. We certainly have resistance up here at 308, but it doesn't make sense to me to go long on this up at 308. I don't think that we need to wait for it to get to 308 for us to have an idea of what this wants to do. Because of the pullback in the pre-market here, we are getting lower highs and we are getting lower lows. So we start to look for the higher highs out of this. We know that 304 is the previous pre-market support, so it should act as a point of resistance, right? So if this hits 304 and rejects, I mean, there's nothing here for us. But if this hits 304 and holds, let's say it runs all the way to 308, right? And then rejects and pulls back and holds 304. it might be a decent buy opportunity off of 304 support to run that back up. Even if this gets back to just 308, it might be something we can capitalize on. So I like UNH as an aggressive trade idea here above 304. Naturally, if this opens above 304, we'll just move that level up to 308. But right now, where it's at, long above 304, I think works here. And some of you want to look at this as a potential short idea. You feel free. Find your level short. This is a gap. This will be a gap from the opening price down to the previous day's high of day, down to 274. So everything here is a gap below. So if you're looking at that as a short idea and you're more short biased on it, find your entry. I'm not setting a short level here. All right. So let's go through our list here and just make sure we've got everything in order. We got SPY above 647, short below 642.5, looks good. We've got Amazon above 233, looks good. We've got Google above 205, looks good. Google, it'll be between Google and Amazon, I think, for the top pick of the day. We've got AMD below 179.5, so that's going to be our hedge idea, if you will. We've got INTC above 25, looks fine. We've got UNH over 304, which also looks fine. Let me delete this top line there. I don't need that. We've got Reddit over 245, looks good. We've got Shopify below 143, looks good. We've got Apple above 235, which looks good. And we've got Nvidia above 184, which looks fine as well. Yeah, I mean, everything here looks good. The lower quality setups is going to be Apple and Nvidia. You do not need to. So the watch list looks like this, right? It's pretty big. The lower quality setups are going to be Apple and Nvidia. You do not need to watch those immediately. You don't have to watch those right away. I mean, seriously, just set alerts on the way up. I'll set one right here at 183. I'll set maybe another one about halfway up, 183.5, and then 184. And I'm going to do the same exact thing for Apple. What these alerts will do is serve to remind me that, hey, Apple's moving up. Okay, we need to start paying attention to this. Okay, Apple's moving a little closer. Maybe we really want to start paying attention to this. Okay, now Apple's at 235. Let's consider taking a trade if the price action here looks pretty clean and the stock doesn't feel extended by that time. And that's those alerts on the way up are going to serve true all the way up. I'm going to move INTC to the main chart watch list. I'm moving INTC up to the main chart watch list because it is right at the break. We just looked at it. It's right at the breakout point now. So I'm just saying it's a continuation follow through following the morning gap up on the positive reaction to the news catalyst. I mean, that's nothing new from what we've already reviewed. So here is your full watch list if you want to screenshot that for the day. I've made this session public. I don't always make these public, but I have made today's session public. We will be trading live, so I hope that you, those of you who are not members of the Discord server, I hope that you've enjoyed this session, and I hope that you go make some money. Listen, it's not always about how much money can you make. It's about how much money can you protect, right? If we go and look at my $5,000 account challenge from this week, $1,100 gain yesterday. $700 gain before that, $1,000 gain before that, $951 gain before that. I'm up nearly $4,000 on the week. Do I really need to trade today? No, I mean, not. Do I really need to make another 1,000 today? No. I don't need to do that. So I don't need to press the envelope. And if you're in that situation too, in that scenario, like if you're green on the week, like, have you met your goals? Have you exceeded your goals? Figure it out for yourself. Do you really need to press the envelope? I'm not saying to not trade, but just protect your capital. Just make sure, because capital preservation is just as much of a strategy as anything else. It is so important. Fridays can be really unforgiving if you're trading the same day expiration contracts and you're on the wrong side of the trade. Okay. Live trading will be happening today, as stated in the beginning of the video. Thank you all for everybody that left a review. I greatly appreciate that, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like, these reviews mean everything to me. So Really, truly, honestly, thank you, thank you, thank you. The deal was we get 5 reviews, we trade live. We got 7, we will trade live. So the live trading, here's how you're going to get there. Scroll down in the bottom left-hand side of the Discord server to a channel called the Voice channel. Make sure that heading is expanded and join into the arena right here. You're going to see people already in here. That is where we will conduct the live trading, not here on YouTube, but on Discord instead. YouTube has a little bit of a delay that I can't control. All right, top pick of the day, probably going to be Amazon or Google. So just keep a watch on those. If things sell off, then the top picks short will be Shopify or AMD. Cool? All right, wait for confirmation. Don't buy under assumptions. Make sure you're protecting your capital, risk management, all that good stuff. Good luck. Go make some money. Love you all. Have a happy Friday and a wonderful, 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 wonderful weekend. I'll see you over in the Discord server in about 5 minutes. All right, cheers. Take care.